Welcome back to PCTV News. I'm Addie Bonsignor.
And I'm Kim Smith. Today is Wednesday, May 1st.
First up, sophomores and juniors, if you would like to sign up for pirate mentoring to help our upcoming freshmen, applications are due Friday, May 3rd.
To all the seniors who have filled out the decision form, the Decision Day celebration is tomorrow, May 2nd, during second PLT to celebrate all of your post-high school plans.
If you haven't filled out the form already, be sure to do so you can attend and participate in the celebration. Last year there were prizes, cake, and other activities, so look forward to more of the same.
As a follow-up to our story from last week, over the weekend at Worlds, the robotics team made it to day 3, winning 2 qualification matches to advance to the divisional playoffs, but ended up losing in the round of 16. Congratulations, Team 9065.
Last Friday, the library had a maker event during PLT where students created Kentucky Derby horses. They will be raced Friday in PLT ahead of the 150 Kentucky Derby this Saturday.
My name is Marcus. I'm at the library where Miss Hankey and a bunch of students will be making race horses for the Kentucky Derby taking place on Friday. Let's take a look.
The Kentucky Derby is a race that's held annually. This year is the 150th anniversary of it at Churchill Downs. And it's just a thoroughbred race that's pretty much a fixture of American culture.
It is, yes. This year we've done a couple of different makerspace activities, or just activities in the library where we're trying to bring in some things that are happening outside in the real world just for students to experience. We did the Masters tournament that just happened. So we did some golfing activities and trivia and things like that, games. And this was kind of the next big thing that was kind of happening. And so decided to kind of create a makerspace event around the Kentucky Derby.
I think it just kind of increases their cultural knowledge. For example, when we were preparing this, we kind of were curious about the naming of the horses and how they name the horses. Well, there's a whole list of guidelines that they have to follow in order to name their horses. They can only be 18 characters long, including spaces and punctuation, that kind of stuff. There's just a lot of different rules to naming the horses themselves. So there were just little things like that we didn't even know. And so we thought it'd be kind of interesting for the students to hear some of that as they are creating their horses and kind of learn about some of the ins and outs of it, because it is such a famous race.
The Maker event always has fun activities. Talk to the librarians if you're interested in their future events to get on the PLT list.
This Friday, May 3rd at 7 p.m., the school will be hosting the annual percussion showcase. If you have friends in the showcase or you're just interested in listening, make sure to show up and have a great time.
Next Friday, Jazz Band will be hosting their annual Evening of Jazz. Let's hear what Joey has to say.
On Friday, May 10th, the Jazz Band will be hosting the Evening of Jazz. It's the Jazz Band's yearly fundraiser with a night filled with music and food. Addie spoke to some members about what's different this year.
Evening of Jazz is our big jazz band fundraiser. We only do one fundraiser every single year. It has this year both a high school jazz band as well as both middle school jazz bands. It's a culmination of the entire year for our jazz ensemble.
All set up on a stage, the full jazz band, and we're going to be playing all kinds of music, just jazz music.
And people, like, there's a dance floor and people can just go out and dance, so they can just sit around and just chill and listen to some jazz music.
Lots of people dress up, so like the people actually playing the music, we like get really formal, so like prom dresses and like tuxes. But if you're just there as a guest, you kind of just dress up more like still fancy, but kind of casual if you want to.
We're going to move it over to the new cafeteria. I'm really excited about it because it's more of a modern like venue in there, but our parents are still going to be able to like transform it into a really cool jazz club, or speakeasy as they call it.
They sell different types of foods, cakes and drinks, and then there's like different raffles.
What we do for raffles is when people come in, they can purchase raffles for as little as $1 up to like $3 or $5 purchase raffle tickets. And then throughout the evening, we'll have somebody announce that this person wins this raffle.
I think they should go, like, just because it's like a lot of fun, and I feel like you have to like go to one to experience what it's like. I feel like a lot of people, like, there's some people that don't go and then some people that do go. And in my opinion, I think it's really fun. And I think it's important that you go at least 1 year.
You can buy tickets ahead of time for $10 by asking a member of the Jazz Band for a ticket, or you can pay at the door for $12. Tickets do sell fast, so be sure to get yours before they're gone. For PCTV News, I'm Joey Siegel.
We're really looking forward to it. It's a very fun night.
Last week, you may have noticed some little pirates running around. Miss Frame hosted a special activities for Take Your Child to Work Day.
On Thursday, April 25th, teachers were allowed to bring their children to work with them.
I was thinking there needed to be something more like with all the kids, that I wanted them to be together and meet each other. And, you know, it's interesting to see where they came from, who their parents were, and have fun activities. And I thought, okay, next year I really want to plan something fun for all the kids. So I came up with some ideas. I passed it by Mr. Giese and he said, go for it. And I kept running with it and coming up with more and more ideas just because I like working with little kids. Our agenda is to take a tour of the buildings, and then we have some activities and games. Right now they're going to do a scavenger hunt. It's a bingo card, and they have to find certain things, either the kids or the teachers are in the building, if they're wearing things that they spot. And we're looking for little pirates, and then we're going to count out and see who won when we get back. We have 2 groups. We'll come back here, and then I have a couple of games we're going to play in the South Gym, kind of get their wheels out, and then they're going to spend most of the day with their parents. We're going to have lunch together. We're going to come back into here and have pizza.
Well, I remember doing it when I was a kid too. I think it used to be called Take Your Daughter to Work Day, and it was just for girls actually. And so I just remember going and having so much fun and learning, and I think all kids like to kind of play hooky from school anyway. So I just thought it'd be a cool experience for them. I hope they see what it's like to be in high school, since they're both elementary school kids, and I hope that they get to see me like in a different light, you know, putting on my teacher hat, and getting them to see like what I do when I'm not around them.
I think we're going to play like a chess game.
So who are you here with today?
My grandma,
And who's your grandma?
Susie. Frame.
What does she do?
She subs for other people that are gone. Susie Frame.
Alrighty, and what does she do?
She helps students at the front desk.
Well, first of all, I think it's really important for the kids to be able to see what their parents do. I think being a teacher is one of the most important things that a person can do. But any person that's in this building, for their kids to be able to see the impact that they have on kids, I think it's important. I think it's important for them to see what a high school looks like too, because I know a lot of them will come to sporting events, but there are other things that high schoolers do, and a lot of that is going to go to class. So I think it's an important opportunity for those kids to be able to experience what their parents do on a day-to-day basis, and the people that they interact with. Well, this will be my first one with one of my kids, so I'm excited of her actually being able to see what it looks like and the work that it actually, like what I do. She gets to come to football games or other sporting events, and that's really kind of what she thinks about. But being able to actually see that, you know, as she's getting ready to start school, what that looks like as a high schooler. So I'm really kind of excited just to spend a little bit of time with her too.
We were delighted to have these little guests. From PCTV News, I'm CJ Elmore.
We're getting closer to the end of the year. Keep a close eye on your grades and good luck to anyone taking upcoming AP exams.
Next week, we will have a senior special and information on how yearbook distribution will work.
Thank you for watching, and remember, it's always a great day to be a pirate.